me. Okay. So these are my objectives, all right, to present the global, regional, and local scenarios on the burden of foodborne diseases. Okay. This is the reason why we are studying food protection, food safety. Okay, as medical practitioners later on, uh, we are actually interested, okay, on the burden of foodborne diseases. Okay. And then secondly, to understand the importance of laws, guidelines, and standards on food safety and sanitation. Okay, so this is a description, or rather a definition given by FAO UN. Okay, so what is food safety? So it is all about handling, storing, and preparing food. So it's not just prepare, it's just not about the preparation. Okay, so it encompasses, okay, handling, storing, storage, and preparation. Okay, in order to, okay, prevent infection and help to make sure that our food keeps enough nutrients for us to have a healthy diet. So this is food safety. Why is it that handling and storing or storage are included? Okay, and even the way we prepare our food. Okay, so uh, as mentioned, okay, to prevent infection. But what's more so important, okay, is to maintain the nutrient that we can get from the food products. Okay, vegetables, fruits, all right, the meat, the protein sources, okay, etc. So this is food safety. Okay, so some facts about food safety. Okay, the great majority of people will experience a foodborne disease at some point. Okay, diba? Okay, probably you also already suffered or experienced viral type of diarrhea. Okay, so, or sometimes just mere food allergy, right? Okay, so one manifestation of food allergy is diarrhea. Okay, or sometimes uh, yung maling mixture ng pagkain na kinain mo. So for example, gata and mangga, something like that, no? So it hyper-stimulates your GI tract, okay? So anyway, foodborne diseases, okay? Kaya nga siya foodborne, alright? And it's a disease, okay? Is caused by different causative factors. It can be chemical toxins, or the most common is, okay, microorganisms. Okay, so thus the importance of making sure that food eaten are not contaminated with yon potentially harmful bacteria, parasites, viruses, toxins, and chemicals. So I'll go back, no, to the documentary. So, which is easily answered, no? So, uh, when I ask, what do you think are the risks, okay, of having foodborne diseases, okay, from the practice of the lady, okay, who was featured in the documentary. Okay, so sorry. All right. So unsafe food. So another ay sorry. Ang gulo ko. Sorry po. Okay. Previews. Okay. So another fact. Unsafe food or unprotected or contaminated food has both short and long-term disease burdens. Okay? So do you still see my slide? Okay. Sige. Foodborne infections affecting populations who are more vulnerable or poor have higher health impact. And you see it in the documentary. Okay? So what is the health impact? You see, it's the family who eats, not just the mother or not just the person who is able to discover food products thrown, no? Okay. It actually, they, okay, including the children, okay, eat that kind of food. That's why for the poorer community, okay, or the poorer communities, the health impact is higher because when they eat it, it's the whole family. Whereas for those who have um, the capacity to buy, for example, you, okay, so you buy your own food, right? Okay, so especially during the non-pandemic area time, 'di ba? So, when you order for your own. You don't order for your family, especially when you were staying around FEU. So, if ever you will have problem, so the impact is only on you. Okay? So, individual. So, kita ninyo? So, mas malaki yung impact, no? Okay. And it was shown in the documentary. Okay, due to complexity in the food chain and effects of globalization of food production and trade, disease outbreaks, investigation, and control can be a big challenge to the healthcare system. Okay, so this is a fact. No, food chain is not a simple linear um, from uh, production to table or from farm to table. Hindi ganun eh. Especially now that it's pandemic. Siguro, some of you, okay, during pandemic, some of your parents or of your family members became plantitos and plantitas, right? Or even you. And you've decided to grow vegetables. Okay, so that's an example of from farm to table. Okay, so you eat what you've planted. Okay, but normally, no. Okay, so from the farm, okay, it has to be sold. It has to be transported, etc. And with the effects of weather, ayan, so product handling, yung handling, no? So for example, from Baguio, okay? So the vegetables from Baguio, okay? So hindi naman isa-isa na okay, ikakarga yan sa ano, no? Sa transporting vehicle. No. They have to put it in sacks. Okay? So wholesale, no? So sacks tapos tapon dito, tapon doon. Okay? And during those times, nawawala yung integrity ng nutrients. Okay? So, aside from diseases, pati yung nutrients. And if the integrity of the nutrients coming from our food products um, is affected, definitely, it has an impact in our health. Okay? You get it? Okay, so now, how about globalization of food production? Okay. So guys, when you talk about globalization of food production, you talk about big time, no? Yung food trade, okay, around the world, okay? And in order to preserve some food products, okay? So for example, soy sauce, diba? So our soy sauce come from GMOs, no? Genetically modified soybeans, okay? Which probably are produced in other countries, etc. In order to preserve the half-life or the life of those GMOs or soybeans, no, there are a lot of food preservation techniques, diba? So, and these are needed in order to feed more people, okay? But, okay, um, you have to sacrifice a little bit when we talk about nutrients, integrity of nutrient, of the nutrient content, or even the safety, no? Pero within um, unacceptable range. Okay? So it is it's a chain reaction. Okay? So ito yung ibig sabihin nitong fact na to. Okay? So complexity in the food chain, okay, really affect the healthcare system. Kasi ang end consumer, tao. Okay? So bakit tayo kumakain? For our health. Okay. Okay, so this is the food chain approach. This is just a review, okay? Just for you to yeah, to know, no? Kasi in biology we've tackled this, okay? Probably when you were in elementary, okay, or in high school. For those whose pre-med is nutrition, so you know this, no? This is the food chain. Of course, production usually from the farm, okay? Or for fishes, of course, alam natin saan ang source ng fish. Okay, so either fresh water, no, or sea salt or salt. Okay, sea water rather. Okay, so um, uh, or okay, so the fish pens, 'di ba? Fish farms. All right. So from production, uh, so when they're already ready for harvest, okay, so they're being transported, okay, okay, for processing. Okay, so for example, rice, no? Okay, so after harvesting, okay, so palay yun, and then ita-transport, and then ipoprocess to become rice. Okay, in the rice mill. Okay, so ganun din ang mga vegetables natin, no? So after harvesting, so titingnan kung yung ano yung mga good products, itatapon yung hindi. So that's part of processing. Alright. So ganun din ang fish. Okay. And then, what happens after transport in processing? Okay, so if you already have or if you have ready food products already, then again, you have to transport it, no? So dalawang beses na transport to retail. Okay. Pwedeng diretso sa retail na, okay? Or yung mga iba in-store muna. Okay, and then temperature in storage houses also affect the nutrient content. Okay, so pag nakita mo, if you follow the normal food chain na ganito, talagang definitely the nutrients will be decreased. Okay, kaya kulang. Pag niluto na natin, even the way we cook food, there are nutrients which are necessarily destroyed by cooking. Oh, okay, so ganon. Okay, so para naiintindihan natin, no? Okay, so and then okay, from retail and storage, and then preparation, and then consumption. So this is the food chain. And food safety and quality is the responsibility of everyone along the food chain. Okay, it's not just the 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 responsibility of the one preparing your food. No, even the farmers have the responsibility to take care of the quality of their products, as well as the ones who are in retail store. Okay, so foodborne illnesses. Okay, so foodborne diseases are caused by types of, okay, 5. Okay, so please take note of this. Okay, bacteria, viruses, parasites, toxins, and chemicals. Okay, so um, a chemical can become toxin. Okay, okay. So also some secretions, no, or even secretions from the different bacteria become or are toxins. Okay, so anyway, so bacteria, viruses, parasites, toxins, and chemicals. Okay, so this is the global, okay, food burden of foodborne disease. Okay, so every year, this is from WHO. So 2015, baka meron na. Hindi ko pa chine-check yung bago, but this was the latest last year. Okay, so probably baka meron ng bago. Okay, so every year, foodborne disease cause almost 1 in 10. Okay, so this is the morbidity. Okay, 1 in 10. So morbidity, because this is the proportion of people to fall ill. Okay, among 10 individuals, 1 can fall ill, okay, because of foodborne disease. Okay, and if you think of it financially, okay, so or rather not financially, but first the quality of life. Okay, so 33 million healthy years or life years lost. Okay, so kinukompute to sa public health. Okay, but I just want to present it para makita ninyo yung malakihang uh, uh, burden ng foodborne diseases. Okay, so foodborne diseases can be deadly, especially in children below 5 years old. Okay, and the mortality is this. Okay, so 420,000 deaths, okay, yearly. This is global naman. Okay, so nakakailang deaths na tayo sa COVID, millions na, 'di ba? Okay, so umabot na ata global, okay, and in just a matter of what, less than a year. Okay, and then among the mortality brought about by foodborne diseases, 1/3, okay, um, 1/3 are children. Okay, so talagang they are the ones most vulnerable. So now, if you see this burden of foodborne diseases, so pag tiningnan mo yung documentary, hala, so ilan ang less than 5 years old doon? Dalawa. 'Di ba? So the two girls. Yung boy, medyo mas malaki na. And they're part of the population who are at risk. Okay? Of both morbidity and mortality. Okay, so diarrheal diseases still are the most common illness resulting from unsafe food. Okay, so 1/2 of the global burden of foodborne diseases, okay, caused by 31 hazards. Okay, so ito yung mga key global causes of diarrheal diseases. Norovirus, Campylobacter, E. coli, and non-typhoidal Salmonella. Okay, so anyway, and these are just estimates. I'll go faster, so that I also want to end the class earlier. Okay, so all right. Okay, and then still about the key causes of this time mortality. Okay, so norovirus, top 3, norovirus, non-typhoidal Salmonella, and pathogenic E. coli. I don't know if was it the daughter of Tulfo? No, I forget. Someone died of a daughter of one of media personnel a few years back, siguro mga 3 or 4 years ago, because of E. coli. Okay, food poisoning. No? Yeah. I forget who. Do you know? Do you remember? Merong isang personality na yung anak niya namatay. I think it's Tulfo. Parang I'm not
Dok,
one. Yes, you know.
naalala ko po sa balita, anak po ni De Venecia, yung politiko.
Hindi.
Glory.
Yung anak ata
It's
ni
11 hours.
Yung anak ata ni De Venecia, namatay sila sa sa fire. 'Di ba? But anyway, basta one important well, either politician or baka nga died of food poisoning. E. coli yun, no? So that's how important food protection for food safety is, no? Okay, so ayan. Okay, so in the Philippines, so look at this. Okay, since I gave this in 2019, so ang ano ko, table ko na nakuha ko muna sa DOH is 2018. Okay, comparing food and waterborne diseases in the Philippines, 2018 versus 2017. Okay, so look at this. Acute bloody diarrhea pa rin yung number one. Okay, so in 2018, bumaba naman actually, no? So that's good. We don't know now that it's pandemic, if it, now during the pandemic. Hindi pa. 2019 is not yet pandemic, di ba? Okay, so let's see if you can actually Google, but it's enough to say, ang gusto ko lang naman ipakita dito, at least nag-i-improve our management, pwedeng management, or even the awareness of the importance of food safety. Okay, so the cases of acute bloody diarrhea because of food and waterborne diseases decreased by almost half, 47.82, comparing it to 2017. Okay? And then, typhoid. Okay, so this is the non-typhoid. Typhoid to eh. Diba? So, ang non-typhoidal salmonella, it's part of the acute bloody diarrhea. And then the typhoid, okay, typhoid specific salmonella is ito pala yung number one. I'm so sorry. So this is the typhoidal type of salmonella infection. Sila yung pinakamaraming cases. Okay? So salmonella, typhoid. Okay? So and then there was one death. Okay? But more than 50%, okay, decrease of cases, number of cases, if you compare it from 2017. And then followed by the non-typhoidal type of salmonella, acute bloody diarrhea. Okay, so 1551. Okay, and then rotavirus, it's viral, no? Okay, and then cholera, hepatitis A. Yung acute bloody diarrhea, nandito rin ang E. coli. Okay, nandito rin ang E. coli. Okay, so I will be giving you naman this PDF, so you can just watch this. There's a video of WHO on 5 keys to safer food. And then I just got this from the internet, okay? So because you will have a presentation right after or before the final exams on your infographics or on health education. So you can actually choose which, okay? So lahat ng na-lecture na topics on, about health. Pwede rin yung iba, smoking, di ba? Meron din kayo, or occupational health, physical activity, nutrition, okay? So, but this is just one example of some infographics. Very simple, but tatatak siya, okay? Basic, for example, basic hygiene, okay? So, wash your hands. Diba? Nakita nyo kanina sa documentary, pagkatapos mangalkal ng basura, diretso sa pagluluto. O, diba? So, food safety is at stake. Okay? So, yon. And then, these are, in that video, you will see the 5 keys to safer food. Okay? So, but please study that, okay? Because that is WHO. I will be getting some questions on that, no? Okay, so these are the 5 keys to safer food. Okay, so these are just example of infographics. If you want to, or if you choose to make one on food protection or food safety. Okay, so this is the additional slides that I put, okay? So from the last year's lecture, this is HACCP, because this is international, no? So the Hazard Analysis Critical Control Points, so, or HACCP. This is a systematic way of ensuring food safety by identifying hazards that could occur during food production and implementing a robust set of actions to prevent hazards occurring. Okay, so I'm not an expert in this, but there are different guidelines already set. So for example, nagkaroon tayo ng outbreak ng African flu swine, right? Okay, but it does not affect the health of, well, they say it does not affect the health of the consumers, but it affects the swine. It affected the swine. Of course, no, parang nakakatakot naman kumain, no? Kahit na sabihin na, no, 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 it will not. Okay, so, but then, um, eh, this is just one example of um, food safety issue, no, or food protection issue. Okay, so and this is an international standard. Okay, so every food business is required to have a, an HACCP plan in place to prevent contamination by chemical, biological, and physical hazards which could make food unsafe or unfit to consume. Okay, so mm, well, each country adapts. Okay, so mm, at least in schools, I can say the school health system in the Philippines, isn't it? There are school canteens, right? Okay, so the health services department of each school, and that is the responsibility of the school physician, okay, checks on the health certificates of the ones um, um, uh, who who are cooking or who are in the food service delivery. Okay, so there, and then they also check the sanitation. So meron din tayong sanitation guidelines. Okay, so being set proper in school. Okay, this is actually a standard given by CHED. Okay, and then um, all all restaurants, okay, so the local government units also check on the sanitary inspection certificate. Okay, okay, and the most significant hazards include contamination by, okay, so nakita natin, no, even in global, both in global and local, salmonella, no, so typhoid, okay, salmonella, both non-typhoidal and typhoidal diseases. And then Listeria, E. coli, Clostridium botulinum, okay, and Campylobacter. Okay, so anong nakita nating common? Yung salmonella at saka E. coli. Okay, so this is an example of an HACCP plan. Okay, 7 steps. So this is already standardized. So carry out an analysis of hazards that could occur during production. Identify the points in the production process where hazards could potentially occur and how they could be controlled or prevented. And these are known as critical control points. Kaya siya CCP rather. And then set up criteria which must be met to prevent hazards at each CCP based on government guidelines where appropriate. Okay. And then number 4, set requirements for monitoring CCPs and define the devices or materials to be used to monitor them. This is true especially for large food production institutions. Okay. And then 5th, establish the correct course of action to take if CCP limits are breached to make sure no hazard occurs. Diba? There are times that a specific batch, there was a year, okay? I remember that a specific batch of century tuna, okay, was recalled, 'di ba? So meron silang binigay na batch number, ni-recall, okay? So probably because of safety issues. Okay, and then put in place a way of keeping records to document the HCCP system, including verification and deviation records. And then 7th, establish methods of verifying the HACCP system. If it is working as it should, such as regular reviews of the plan, records, and limits, and carrying out sampling. Okay, so at least we know this as doctors, no? Meron palang HACCP, no? So at least we know, okay? So hindi ko naman sasabihin na kailangan ninyong alamin ano ba yung mga critical, ano nga ba yung sabi ko? Nakalimutan ko tuloy. Critical control points, no? Okay, but at least we know, ganito pala yung ginagawa, especially for large food production systems. Okay, and in the Philippines, okay, so we have standards, okay, in food safety. So we have rather Food Safety Act of 2013. So this is RA 10611. Okay, so 10611. Okay, so hopefully you could get a copy. Madali lang naman. Okay, you download, you search it in Google, and then you download and then go through it. Okay, so probably I'll get 2 or 3 or even 5 points from this act of 2013. Okay, and then second, we have food safety control system. And there are implementing agencies and departments who are directly and indirectly responsible for the food safety control system in our country. Okay, and then I'm gonna be, so I will share to you the general workflow chart. Okay, so just a quick, run through of the Food Safety Act of 2013. It is an act to strengthen the food safety regulatory system, okay, to protect consumer health and facilitate market access of local foods and food products, and for other purposes. Okay, so these are few of the objectives. Okay, so you can read through it. Okay, and then these are the different parts of that Food Safety Act of 2013. Okay, so 1 to 13. Okay, so there you will see of course, the first part, title, declaration of policy and objectives, and then second will be the definition of terms, and then there are the basic principles of food safety. Okay, and then general principles, and then responsibilities on food safety. Okay, sixth will be Food Safety Regulation Coordinating Board. And then there is a part of crisis management. Okay, and then seventh, implementation of food safety regulations. And then, actually maganda yung act. Okay, so when you try to read it, be critical. Not critical in the sense that criticizing our no, our I mean what you observe, okay, no, critical in the sense that uh, get the points, and then ito ba no observe, okay, parang hindi, okay, I don't observe this, okay, but probably in larger food production na, okay, so they do, right? And then there is training and consumer education. O, see, meron pang foodborne illness monitoring, surveillance, and research. And then there are policy on fees, okay, and then prohibitions, penalties, sanctions, and then the final provisions. Guys, actually, we have very good policies, okay. Always the problem is the implementation. Okay, ang daming magagandang nakasulat na polisiya, pero ang problema, hindi na i-implement. It's always like that. Okay? Okay, so this is the food safety roadmap. Okay, so delineating and linking the mandates and responsibilities of the government agencies. So this is the starting point. And then going to the end of upgrading the capability of farmers, fisher folk, industries, consumers, and government personnel, and ensuring food safety. Okay, in between makikita natin, no? Una, okay, provision ng mechanism. Okay, so yung mechanism ng collaboration, coordination, and accountability in the implementation of regulatory functions. And then after coordinating and specifying accountability, which departments is responsible for this, etc., then, in principle, policies and programs, okay, are established in order to address food safety hazards and developing appropriate standards and control measures. Pero ito, meron na kasing set na regulations and control measures internationally. And then, we just base it, okay? So, it depends on what the country needs, okay? And then, strengthening the scientific basis of the regulatory system, okay? And ending, hopefully, in the upgrade of the capability of all the ones involved in the food chain. Okay, so from production to consumer. Okay, so these are the implementing departments and agencies. All right, so DA, Department of Agriculture. Okay, so Department of Agriculture, do you know where it is? Okay, nasa ano siya? Yung main office nila, nasa Circle. Okay, malapit sa Visayas Avenue. Okay, so there are different sections pa and different bureaus under Department of Agriculture. Okay, so read through it. Okay, and then of course, Department of Health. We are part. Okay, so I already include you because you're part of the medical team. Okay, so DOH and under DOH, so meron din silang mga sections and different groups. Okay, so FDA, no? So Food and Drug Administration. Okay, and then Center for Health Development. Okay, so ito yung mga EORA under the different sections of the Department of Health. Okay, they are under Department of Health, but they are independent and self-sustaining. Okay. Okay, Bureau of Quarantine, nandito rin sa Department of Health. Okay, and then National Epidemiology Center, NEC. And then of course, RITM. Bakit importante yung RITM? Because we are a tropical country. Kaya nga siya tropical medicine. Okay, so this is where the experts on infectious diseases, okay, that includes foodborne diseases, okay, are nurtured. Okay, so nandito yan. Okay. And then, meron din tayong National Center for Disease Prevention and Control. Okay, so Department of Interior and Local Government, DILG. Ayan, so Code of Sanitation. Oh, alright, so meron sila galing doon. And then the Consumer Act of the Philippines. Okay. So those are few of the ones who are involved, okay, agencies who are involved. Okay, so this is just, again, no, it just describes, okay, so some jurisdiction, ano bang nangyayari, okay, so saan ba pupunta, okay, so yan, okay, so example, the Department of Agriculture jurisdiction, primary and stages. Okay, so papunta dito, no? Okay, so regulate safety of restaurants, wet markets, supermarkets, catering establishments, school canteens, water refilling stations. But of course, bago pa man mapunta doon, there are also smaller, kasi hindi yan kakayanin ng Department of Agriculture, no? To check all. Okay, so napapasa yan sa LGU na. Okay, LGU jurisdiction. Okay, so there. Okay, but they are, okay, so the different policies, okay, are set by Department of Agriculture. Okay, but more so, okay, ang pinaka ay ito. Okay, so regulate safety of all fresh and raw agriculture and fishery resources. Ensure animal and plant health, and ensure safety of farm inputs. And then, papasa sa DOH. Okay, so ito naman ang FDA jurisdiction. Okay, processing and distribution. Okay, so regulate safety of all processed and prepackaged food. Okay, of manufacturers and distributors, exporters, wholesalers, importers. And then, papunta sa LGU. Okay, so this is the end, no? And then, in between ng DA, before the end uh, uh, end area, okay, is the BOQ jurisdiction. Okay, ito yung domestic international ports, airports of entry. Okay, so Bureau of Quarantine to. In-flight catering, food service establishments, okay, within BOQ perimeter. Okay, so ito yung simple work, okay, flow, no, of the different, okay, main agencies, main government agencies involved in food safety and protection. Okay, so these are my references. I will give you actually, so the PDF and including the recorded lecture of food safety,